Hi guys, so I've come back here today with some more vaping videos. Today's a hardware review. I've just got Smok T-Priv.
I have been running from a prison far from here to my lover. I must go.
Hey guys, as you saw in the intro, today we're looking at the Smok T-Priv mod. This is an absolute top mod. I've just bought it. I just bought it today, and I've got all the kits here and got everything I need to get going. So today we're going to start with the Smok T-Priv. I'm going to start with the battery. This is the T-Priv mod battery, the box it comes in. I have the silver and black one. It does come in other colours. So at the front there, with a picture of the mod, usual warnings, side, usual information with your scratch authenticity, nothing on there. QR codes for the app, nothing on there. And on the back, usual EU warnings and another nicotine based product warning. And this is how it comes in the box. But this is just a sleeve, so let's slide this off. And this is Smok's presentation box. Pretty standard box for a Smok. Let's take the lid off. So inside the box we have our little tasty snack, silica gel. Don't eat this, I'm only joking. And there's the mod sitting on the top there. Quite a hefty bit of kit. Feels quite nice in the hands though. Put that to one side. And underneath this we have our bit of cardboard there, just covering up with our instruction manual. So warranty card and battery safety information, and a USB charging lead. So that's what comes in the box. Let's put all that away. Slide it back in there. There we go. So here it is. This is the T-Priv. Very nice battery mod. Screen on the top there. Spring mounted 510 connector. Fire button on the side. Battery compartment on the bottom. Now this battery mod does come with no batteries. You have to bear that in mind. There's no batteries in there. But I do have some batteries for it, so we're going to be testing this today. Before we get onto the batteries, let's move on to the tank. This is the TFV8 Big Baby in stainless. Again, usual product warning on the front there. Scratch and check authenticity on the side, nothing on that side. Usual QR code for the app, nothing on that side. Back, nicotine warning, usual EU warnings. This is TPD compliant with the coil it currently has in it. So I've got the display box there again, Smok on the front, nice shiny writing, I do like that. Let's take the lid off this thing. This one's not quite as easy to open as the T-Priv mod. Add a little bit more heft to it because of the weight of the battery. Come on, come on. Give it up, give it up, give it up. There we go, we got there. So inside the box you'll have your TFV8 Big Baby. And mine has liquid in already because I put some liquid in prior to filming to prime the coil, so we can pretty much go straight away on this. But there she is. It's the TFV8 Big Baby tank. I have quite a thick liquid, so it's just resettling itself inside the tank. This is the big coil that comes with it, which is what makes it TPD compliant. With this coil in, it's 2 millilitres tank capacity. 810 connector mouthpiece, not 510. So it's a goon fitting, and that just pops in and out. It's got the O-rings on there. See, just there. Quite a tight fit. When I first tried to take this out, it was quite a pain. But once you've taken it in and out a few times, it's quite easy. It slides in and out. There we go. So, got regular 510 connector there, just to screw in. Pretty standard. Airflow controls on the bottom. Fairly restrictive. Stops either way, so you can't over or under spin. And coil changing is unscrew the bottom. The coil will come straight out. You can change the coil, screw it all back in. I'm not going to do it because I'll just pour liquid everywhere. Liquid refills in the top, so slide that to the side. And there's a juice intake just there. That's the coil. Don't pour anything down there. That's the juice intake's just in front of it there. Slide that back shut when you're done. My goon mouthpiece is fitting a little bit loose already. There's a bit of juice around it, it's making it a little bit slidey. I'm just going to give it a quick wipe. There we go, that's better. So yeah, that's the tank. Let's put that to one side for now. Gosh, it's a hefty thing. Most tanks I have can stand up nicely on their 510 pin connector. She is a wobbling. There we go. Okay, so underneath there we have the warranty card. Again, little snack for you there. Again, don't eat this, I'm only joking. Where did I put the other one? Just there. Keep them to one side. Remember to throw them out. And we have our, if I can get it to come out, it seems to be wedged in there nicely. God, they have wedged this in. Come on, give it up. Give it up. There. Bloody hell. Oh, flipping heck, they've wedged that down. Flipping heck. That's the instruction manual. It's proper wedged in there. Really wedged in. There again, battery safety warnings. As usual cards. Let's pop them to one side. Pop this to one side. And underneath there we have our bag of spares. Don't know if you can see that, I've got some spare O-rings, including the Smok logo there. And we also have this little adapter, don't know if you can see that little adapter there. Now that's for placing in the baby coils rather than the big baby coils, which is what it comes shipped with. And you can put them in and it will increase the capacity to 4 millilitres, which is the same as the American standard. So you can put regular baby coils in this, but I haven't got any, so I'm just going to be going neat and as it comes. Again, another little snack. Again, don't eat them, I'm only joking. Spare glass for the tank in case yours breaks. Nice to have. And we'll see if there's anything underneath. No, there's nothing else underneath. Oh, something's just fallen out. What was that? What just fell out then? Come on, I heard you. Where did you go? Oh, I can't see it. Okay, so that's what comes in the box. Let's just put everything back in. Keep things neat and tidy. Well, need that tidy-ish. Tidier, I should say. Put the lid back on. And I like to put the sleeve on. It's just what I like to do. And there we go. Pop that to one side. So yeah, we have the Smok T-Priv and the Smok TFV8 Big Baby. It's very nice. So we're going to start with the T-Priv mod. I'm going to pop the battery cover off. That's literally just, see if I can get a decent angle at this. So the battery cover just slides down and that pops open. Fairly simple. It's a little bit loose when there's no batteries in there, but when there's batteries in there it's fairly secure. And the batteries that I have today are these AWTs. These are 18650 lithium ion, 3000 milliampere. Let's crack these out. These come in individual boxes. And let's crack these out there. We get two exactly the same, so there we are. Oops, close. There we go. Those are our two 18650s. Now normally when you buy batteries they don't come charged, but the place I bought it from, they're kind enough to charge the batteries for you when you buy them, so you can just pretty much pop them in and away you go. Make sure I get this the right way around. So one side is positive, one side is negative. So you can see the plus and the minus in there. Might be a bit hard to see, move a bit closer. Plus and the minus just at the bottom there. So positive down to the bottom, negative down to the bottom. Push the cap in and over, and then it starts up. There we go. She's powered on. Well, she should be anyway. Well, now she's powered on. So she's starting up. The Smok logo, and there we go. The menu screen there. We'll go through that in just a second. So I'm going to screw the tank onto the top of here. To get the threads to catch. The threads catch really easy. Gotta give it that. I'm going to compare this to my Nicotine Chroma when it comes to stuff like that. And there she goes. Very nice. Okay, so there are LED lights built onto the side. I currently have these set up to only turn on when I'm vaping, so I'm going to run through the menu, show you how to work that, and we'll change it. So you've got your LED screen on the top. I'm going to take my tank off for this because the liquid's just going to go everywhere. I'd rather just keep it nice and steady. So it keeps the coils nice and covered. I can't stand it up. Again, that is one thing I don't like. It's just a little bit too heavy to stand on its 510. But that's me. So there we go. Got our LED screen on the top. 1, 2, 3, and we're in menu mode. So there's mode there, puff, colour, settings, power, and background we go. So we're going to go to colour, hold down. So I currently have mine set to green, but we have different options. So we have red, rainbow, so it'll cycle through. RGB, so red, green, blue. White, so just white. It says it's white, but it's actually a slight hint of blue in there. I don't think that's 100% white. Sorry. There we go. If you leave it long enough, it takes itself out with the menu, so you're not leaving it by accident. Then we've got white, back to RGB, rainbow, red, green, blue there, yellow, magenta, which is quite nice, cyan, which is kind of what the white looked like, just a little bit, yeah, kind of not really much between them in those ones. So hang on, let me show you. That's cyan, that's white, cyan, white. It's kind of hard to notice on the camera, but it's very, very subtle difference. But I like mine in green, so we're going to select green. We can have it in fade, we can have it in jump, we can have it in normal. Let's put it in, oh, this is jump, that's normal, so it's just on. Then fade, you'll say fade in and out, so let's set that to fade. Currently on vaping on, but I'm going to have it on, let's have it on vaping on, select that, and there we go. Now it's flashing because there's enough. It's flashing to tell me that there's nothing on the top here, so it's not going to fire. It's still flashing. It stopped. There we go. So you'll see my battery indicator there. It's saying it's full because these batteries have been pre-charged for me by the people who run the shop down the road. Let's pop this tank on, and there she is. There she is. Quite a tall unit. Now there is one thing that I wanted to try that the person in the shop and me couldn't really figure out whether it was able to do, so I'm just going to plug it in by USB. New coil, yes. It can. I wanted to see if it could pass through charge. And it seems it can. Is it charging? I can't tell if it's charging. Let me just unplug that and plug that back in, see what it does. Okay, so I've got the battery indicator there. It's a bit hard to see, but it's giving me percentages. It's about 99, 98%. So it's using one battery a little bit more than the other, but kind of understandable. And it is letting me fire on it, but I can't. Once I press a fire button, I can't tell whether it's still charging. I'm going to have to do a little bit more testing with that. I'll come back to you another time. But anyway, let's leave that for now because there's plenty of battery charge in the thing. Now the recommended coil, these coils in here, it says they are 0.4 ohm. And they can take 40 to 80 watts, best at 55 to 65. It says 40 to 80, but 80 watts is not going to be recommended for this thing. It's a single coil. I would not push this thing up to 80 watts. So I currently have this set at 55, which is the lower end of the recommended best, the best. So it's 55 to 65 is the best sort of range wattage they recommend, but it can do 40 to 80. Again, I don't think 80 is realistic, but it says it can do 80. But anyway, so I've got it off 55 watts, it's firing out at 0.4 ohms. Let's have a quick blast. Wow. Whew. Wow, that's strong. Just look how much is coming out of this thing. Bloody hell. As a comparison, I have my Nicotine chroma here. It's firing, I've got it currently set to 75 watt, temperature control mode, 75 watt ramp up, 425 Fahrenheit. Battery's a little bit low, so I'm just going to plug her in for this fire. I just want to do a comparison to this. Ooh, the flavour of that thing is great. But let's just compare it to this. I mean, it's fairly. I mean, the biggest thing to note about this is the airflow compared to this. It's actually quite restrictive. It feels quite choked, and this airflow is open all the way. So I don't know if that's top airflow causing that choking, but it is a little bit more choked. It's got more of a choked feeling to the airflow compared to the TFV8 there. But let's give it another fire, see what it does. Fair enough. Now there's one thing I did want to try. I don't have my bridge connector for the chroma, so I can't do this the other way around, sadly, because it won't fit. Because this tank is a lot wider than the slipstream. I'll show you what I mean now both tanks are off. See, that thing is a chunky beast. Very big, very big. But like I say, I just wanted to try the slipstream tank on top of this mod. because this can do temperature control, but I'm not doing temperature control with that tank. I'm not going to do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. We're in menu mode. Let's just scroll through to mode. Hold down. Watt temp. Let's go temp. Strength. I'm going to put this to my usual 40 watts. Oh, there we go. Hold down. And the coil is actually a steel coil. I can't remember. I think it's a 1.6. So I set it to 1.6. Alright, so it's currently set to 600 Fahrenheit. I'm just going to see if it can go to degrees Celsius. It can. If I push up, I go down, it goes to 600 Fahrenheit, up it goes to 100 degrees C. It goes from 100 degrees C all the way to... It's still going. Oh, we switched to Fahrenheit there. So let's crank it back down. It goes up to 315 degrees C. So 100 to 315 degrees C goes up and down in increments of 5 degrees. So in Fahrenheit, we've already established top end is 600, bottom end seems to be 200 because it does round robin but switches to Fahrenheit. I'm going to put this up to my usual 425. Oh, I can't do 425. Okay, in Fahrenheit it jumps up in 10 rather than in 5, so I can't do 425. So instead I'm going to go with 420, slightly below, and it's ramping up at 40 watts. So I'm going to fire this and see what it's like. Okay, I'm going to adjust the settings. Keep it in mode, keep it in temp mode. I'm going to put the strength up to 75 watts, which is the top end of what the chroma can handle and what it usually chucks out at. Let's put it at 75, still a steel coil, still there. Let's try this again. Does seem to be having a little bit of trouble. Let me just setting. It's not recognised as a new coil on there. It's not asked me if there's a new coil, so I want to sort of power the device off and power it back on and see if it can recognise the new device. There we go. So I've just powered it off by going into the menu screen, go over to power, hold it down 3 times, set it to off, and then hold it down to choose off. Turn it back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it will restart. Lights don't turn on. Okay, still not recognise a new coil on there. Can I force it to recognise a new atomizer? Let me unscrew the one that's on. Try to fire. Okay, it's told me to check the atomizer and it's flashing red. I'm just going to try and get this thread to catch. Export. Screw that on. And now it's asked me if it's a new coil. Yes, it is a new coil. So let's set this going now. Let's try and crank up the Fahrenheit to 430 and see what that does. It's very weird. I don't know if you can actually hit. I don't know if you can actually hear what it's doing. But I'll try and get a little bit closer to see if the microphone will pick this up. You hear it every now and again. Every now and again, it's like. Then it's just me breathing. Then it goes. So its temperature control mode is a little bit touch and go. I've just received a text message, 2 seconds. I'm going to do a quick vape transition using this because I need to just go sort something out from my mum. And I'll do another vape transition when we come back and we'll carry on. Okay guys, so we're back. Where we left off, I just put the TFV8 Big Baby back on. Now, I have been talking on this a little bit since I went away, so the liquid has run down a fair bit actually. So it's time for a refill. And today I'm still using the same liquid as I was using in the last review, which is this Matinee Zero Heisenberg with my Matinee Phoenixes mixed in. Still the same mix, exact same bottle. Give it that a quick shake, swill like I like to do. And that should be ready to go. So, refilling this thing. I like to refill this thing. Well, I like to close the airflow of the tank just in case, and then I like to slide it open. I like to refill it on the mod because when it's in your hand, it's a little bit fiddly. It might just be me, but I just find it to be a little bit fiddly. So let's take my lid off. And let's refill. So, the refill hole just there. The refill hole just there. I like to put this in at a slight angle about there and just fill her up. You see it going in, fairly clear liquid, but it's quite thick, so you can see it filling up. Slightly overfill, just a tad, and there we go, she's done. Slide her shut. Actually, just before I do, she's a little bit of a wipe because this liquid's quite thick. It does spill out a little bit from the needle that I use. Ooh, there we go. Slide her shut and she'll click into place when you've got it right. Good and pin mouthpiece still in place. And there we go, she's refilled. So just before I left, I was trying the temperature control mode out for the slipstream tank from the Nicotine ITS Chroma, and it wasn't going too well. It was a bit touch and go, a bit hit and miss, which is a bit unusual because on the Chroma it's absolutely fine. So I don't know, maybe it's just something different, but I've sort of decided that maybe temp control mode is not quite right for this coil. So what I'm going to do instead, to make this a fairer test, is I'm going to crank this up to 35 watts, fire it in wattage mode with a slipstream tank on. Just going to get myself up to 35, mid 40, 34 and 35. There we are, she's set to 35. New coil, yes, and she's ready to go. Not much flavour on that at 35, but it's pumping out some nice vapor. I'm going to crank this up to 40, I think. I think 40 should be good. Try that again. Now see, this is where this tank sort of gets let down a bit, because on the Chroma it's absolutely fantastic. I can't fault it. It works so well on the Nicotine ITS Chroma. I physically cannot fault it. But I put it on any other battery mod and it just seems to flop. It doesn't seem to have the same performance, which is a bit of a surprise actually, because this is one of my favourite tanks I've ever had, which is a bit of a letdown. I must admit, it's a bit of a letdown. I was just checking how much liquid I had in there. Quick check of the coils seem alright. Now the biggest thing I have with this is the coils are actually, they don't have a wattage recommendation on them. They only have temperature recommendations, because this thing was designed to be fired on the Chroma in temperature control mode, which is understandable. So I need to sort of try and figure out where I want to be with it. I'm going to put it up to 55, same as I'm doing with the Big Baby, just over there. And I'm going to see if this fires in a little bit better. There we are, so I'm at 55 watts. At 55 watts, it's redeemed itself a little bit. It has redeemed itself, I must admit. And this is a slightly higher resistance coil than the one that comes with the Big Baby. This is a 0.5. Registers at 0.48 on the T-Priv, which is absolutely fine. You can't get it perfect, and obviously this coil has been bedded in quite nicely by being fired on the Chroma, so it is doing quite nicely. Now the reason I went back to the slipstream tank was to just give this a minute or two to soak the coils with the fresh liquid. I'm just going to reopen the airflow, still at 55 watts, yes it is a new coil, registering at 0.397, so 0.4. I have to admit the flavour on this thing is top notch. Flavour on this is absolutely brilliant. If you're a flavour junkie, this is going to be a good tank for you. I definitely recommend pairing this up with a Smok mod, either the Precaution or the T-Priv. I think they're the two main ones on the market right now. There's also the G-Priv, but I wasn't too keen on the touchscreen. I didn't really see the point in it, if I'm being honest. So let's do a little bit of cloud chasing on this thing, okay? See what we can do. I'm going to try and go for 5 seconds, and I can't guarantee I'll go for 5, but I'm going to try and go for 5 seconds and see what we can make on it. So I'm going to point the screen to me so I can keep an eye on the second counter, because there is a second counter on there when you fire. So that bar at the bottom. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to regret this. I just know it. Excuse me, I only managed 4.1 there before I had to stop. It was just getting a little bit too harsh. Oh dear me. Let's try that again. Managed to get to 4.3 that time. So, what I'm going to do this time on this attempt is I'm going to do a little bit of priming down first, then go back up and see if that makes a difference. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that time I did make it to 5 seconds. Oh, but it knocked me a little bit sideways. Oh dear. Oh dear me. Is that 5 or is that 6? I just think I went to 6 by accident. Okay, well that's my own fault. I went to 6. Let's go again. Easing myself back into it slowly because I don't want to just knock myself on my arse again. I seem to be averaging about 3.8 now, which is absolutely fine. But there we go, that's the Smok T-Priv. First impressions, they're very good. I'm really enjoying this, I'm very glad I've made the investment. One thing I just want to try is to see whether it actually is charging. So it's saying 95 and 90, 96 and 93. I'm going to fire on it, I'm going to leave it to charge. We'll use this fire to do a vape transition, and then when we come back I'll see whether the battery's charged after I've vaped on it. I just want to test if it actually is still charging after firing, because it wasn't very easy to tell. So let's find out. Okay guys, so it's been about 5 minutes since I left. I went to just feed the dogs, make sure everything was okay down there. It's been left on charge after I fired it since I left. So I'm going to unplug it now, plug it back in, and yeah, it is charging. So this can do pass-through, which for me is absolutely great because I am a massive fan of pass-through battery mods. They are my bread and butter. I love them. So yeah, initial impression of this thing is good. Great flavour, great airflow, great features. I like the fact it lights up when you're firing it. That's quite cool. That's quite cool. I like that. Of course, if you want it on all the time, you can do, but I'd rather not. I'd rather try and save battery. That's just me. I like that it's pass-through charging. I didn't expect it to be, so the fact it is good to know. It's very nice. Impressions of this tank are absolutely spot on. I can't fault it at the moment. And initial impressions. But yeah, so this was the Smok T-Priv mod with TFV8 Big Baby tank. And initial impressions, really good. I'm going to do a proper full comparison to the iTaste Chroma when I've had a little bit more time with it, and I've had a bit more time to mess around with the settings, try and find the best way to fire the slipstream tank on that. And also, hopefully, on the next video, if I can find that bloody bridge, I want to try the TFV8 on this as well, just to see how it performs on other battery mods. Now, I know it may seem a little bit of an unfair comparison because this is 3000 mAh per battery, so I'm getting 6000 mAh out of this, and this is a 2000 mAh battery, so maybe it's not going to be up to the task. But there's only one way to find out, and that is to put it on that thing. But without that adapter, I can't do that. So for the time being, I hope you've enjoyed. Like, favourite and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you next time. See you, bye.